This video is going to be about selfishness. So I want to talk about selfishness in an evolutionary sense because this channel is a biology class, but in order to give you some context, I'm going to start with a personal example. Last weekend, my mother and I decided to visit an old family friend named Bryce, who lives down the road. I hadn't seen Bryce in a couple of years, and I'd been saving a gift for him, a Batman soap dispenser. So my mother and I got in the car, and when we were almost there, crap! I realized I'd forgotten the soap dispenser. When I asked my mother to turn around, she responded, "You can be so selfish sometimes." And she was right, I was being selfish. I was asking her to give up her time for my mistake, but it got me thinking, what is selfishness? So, in South America, there lives this vampire bat called Desmundus rotundus. And at night, they go out and they find some large mammal, like a cow, and drink as much blood as they can. They have to eat almost every day or they will die. But not every bat can find blood every day. If a bat fails to find a meal, it will come back to its cave and selfishly pester its cave mates until they feed it. Why would they do this? Why would they give up some of their hard-earned blood to feed someone else? To answer that question, let's hear from Ines Dawson from a lecture she gave on the evolution of cooperation.
Evolution favours behaviour strategies and traits encoded by genes that increase the capacity to be transmitted to as many individuals as possible.
From this perspective, the altruistic behaviour of the vampire bats can be largely explained by the fact that they're related.
Most of the individuals who are helping other individuals, they're actually related, they're relatives. Individuals in a population share genes with related individuals, which means that a gene may also increase its evolutionary success by indirectly favouring the reproduction and survival of other individuals who also carry that gene.
The basic idea here is that it's possible for a gene to spread through a population even if it doesn't directly benefit its hosts, so long as it benefits other bearers of that gene. This idea can be expressed mathematically by an equation known as Hamilton's rule.
R stands for relatedness, B for benefits, and C for costs. If the benefits outweigh the costs, altruistic behaviour will be performed.
So according to this equation, the likelihood of a bat sharing a meal should be proportional to the bat's relatedness to the recipient, and this is pretty much what researchers have found. What this perspective does is it forces us to understand this interaction at a level below that of an individual bat. Instead of asking, why would the bat do this? Instead we ask, why would the genes the bat carries cause it to do this? In the end, my mother turned around. She gave up her time to compensate for my forgetfulness. Perhaps it's because we're related? We drove back home and I picked up the soap and then, very altruistically, I gave away the gift. It turns out that what we call selfishness and what we call altruism depends on the level of perspective that you take. Vampire bats sharing blood appears altruistic at the level of a bat, but at the level of bat genes, it looks like selfish self-preservation. In just about any biological example of altruism, there's a perspective that you could take which would show underlying selfish motives, but reciprocally, most examples of selfishness will prove to have an altruistic silver lining. This doesn't mean that altruism doesn't exist, or that selfishness is just in the eye of the beholder. What it means is that these two ideas are intimately related. Very often, selfishness at one level proves to be altruism at another, and altruism itself is usually action in the service of a higher self. This is the end screen! There's a lot more about altruism and selfishness that I could not fit into this video, so I made a footnote video which you can find by clicking over there. This video is the second in a 10-part series where we host biologists who give live lectures on evolutionary topics. To watch Ines's lecture that this video is based off of, you can click over there. This channel is also a class, and the students make videos too. You can click over here to watch a brilliantly illustrated student video. And there is yet one more thing that you can click on. Right there is the subscribe button. You should click it. Yeah.